Well, as you can see from the van, well, the picture come up very shortly, it's mostly finished inside and out, apart from a few little bits and pieces of clips and bits and pieces here and there, which are all ordered and should be here shortly. I want to get the vehicle ready to go on the road for the first time in 20 something years. So my next problem is the wheels and the tyres. Tyres obviously woefully out of date, the rubber's awful on them, so we're going to be swapping them for new ones. And the wheels themselves look very, very rusty. So we're going to take the tyres off of the wheels and we're going to try a process of homemade electrolysis to strip the rust off of the wheels, or as much of it as we can off of the wheels. So with no further ado, let's go and have a look and see how we can have a go at that. First thing you want obviously is a tank. Here we got one that we found out of a skip. We're lucky enough to be in that kind of a business to find these things. Because it came out of a skip, I'm going to fill it up with water first just to make sure it doesn't leak out everywhere. And obviously looking at the size of it, that is more than decent enough to fit a wheel in. Well, now that it doesn't leak, and we're certain it don't leak, we're going to add 4 metal bars to each corner. These will be, from what I understand on the electrolysis process, they will be the sacrificial bars that attract the rust during that process. Well, we cut the 4 bars, as you can see here, rounded off the ends so you don't catch your fingers on them or get cut. I don't know if you can see there, we've also drilled a hole through them. That's so we can put some wire around and complete a circuit between all 4, which is coming up now. Right, there's the electrodes in, bars, electrodes, whatever they call them, I think. Now we're going to secure them in and connect them all up. Well, as you can see, we've drilled a hole either side and just put a nice cable tie through there, which has held that firm. Fortunately, because of this type of container, has a nice lip in the bottom which stops the bottom moving around. Well, we've connected everything up via the holes. You've noticed I've probably double wired it. Because I understand this takes quite a few amps, and I just wanted to be fairly certain that the wire I'm using will put up with it, so that's why I've doubled it. Next, we're ready for the water and the chemical, which is it's just soda, I think. That's coming tomorrow, so we'll pack it up for now, and then tomorrow we'll fill it up and find something to put in it. Here's our rusty wheel. Very rusty. We're going to use this to connect to the wheel, so that is the other electrode. Here's the setup. We've got this. Now, whenever you're cleaning, apparently cannot sit on the floor. It needs to be raised up. So I found this piece here, which we'll put in there, which will lift the wheel off the floor. We've got the electrode attached to it. We're all wired up and ready. And from what I understand, it's between 1 to 2 teaspoons of soda crystals to a gallon of water. So you mix the water up first. We've found a way of calculating the amount going into it. So for future reference, we're going to mark it as it goes up.
That's a measured 20 gallons. Now, according to what I've read, you want between 1 to 2 tablespoons per gallon. So we're going to go with the middle. So obviously that's 20, 30. So 30 tablespoons mixed into here, which we will do now with a different pair of scissors because these are crap. I was going to get one of those nice paddles and mix it up, but I can't find it, so we'll just mix it up with a stick. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. I feel like a count out of Sesame Street. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Right. Grey and cloudy. I'll show you a picture of that in a minute. The reason for the soda crystals is it allows the electricity to flow more easily, from what I found out in my studies. So we will now drop the stand, which is there, and the wheelie. Pair of gauntlets, just in case. I don't think it's going to do you any harm, but no point in taking a chance, is there really? There. One wheel. And that covers that nice. Positive is what collects the rust, negative rejects. Right, let's leave that and we'll see what goes on. Well, we took it out of the water this morning. We've allowed it to dry off in the sun here. Lovely day. The conclusion from all of this is it works. It really does work. We did it in a very minor way in that they say between 5 and 10 amps for something of this size. Well, because I've only done this the first time, I've done it on 2 amps, which is probably far too low. I think if I'd done it in 5 or 10 amps, it would have stripped it even more completely. And the other thing is we've only had it in there for 18 hours, but they say you can leave it for 24 or longer if you like. It's a system I will use again on the other wheels. However, I will up the ampage next time. wheel using a mixture of this angle grinder with a knotted wire brush and sandpaper. It came off so easily. I'm so glad I did the electrolysis. Just a word of warning, if you do ever use one of those knotted things, for God's sake wear a pair of goggles, because when the wires come off of those it's not good. And trust me, when I was very young I was on the receiving end. With the wheel clean, as you can see, we can now do what is important, which is a visible inspection of the wheel itself. The wheel comes in two parts and is seam welded along these lines here together. I have had old wheels years ago that have come apart or rusted or broken, so we'll give that another go with the knotted wire brush just to make sure that that's fine, and then we're ready to put some paint. And painted. There we are. We haven't painted that in normal silver paint. We painted that in galvanising spray paint, which is available from any of those wonderful hardware places, just to give that a bit more protection